Welcome back to Show Me What I've Been Missing, your pop culture podcast that says, hey, remember that thing? I'm one of your hosts, Elizabeth Stanton, and with me is my other host,
Chris Mack. What's up, guys? Do my Usher meme.
Watch this.
Watch this.
Well, speaking of watch this,
Yes.
we're watching Sex and the City all the way from start to finish. I've seen it too many times. Chris has not seen it really at all. And we are in the official, we've been saying it and saying it, but we are now in officially season 6B.
So the B stands for
6B, last 8 episodes of the official series. And I don't know if you notice, and it'll stay this way the rest of and go into winter. It's officially fall in New York.
Yes.
The whole series has kind of been
like springy, right?
Springy, summery, but now as things are getting a little more serious, like where are things going is a big question in this episode and whatnot.
This is the best way to end the series because fall in New York is just beautiful. It's like one of the perfect scenes for anything. Cinematically, I'm speaking. I don't know what it's like to live there in the fall. Hey, don't come after me, New York, because I'm just saying cinematically it's gorgeous.
Yes. And we get a little of that while we're there, but we'll get to that. So who would you like to start with?
Man, honestly, though, I mean, I feel like we should, because honestly, the only person's story that's kind of weak is Charlotte's story.
Yeah. Let's get her out of the way and then...
Yeah, let's get her out of the way. I don't know where to go next because Samantha and Miranda's story...
Wild.
Man. Let's get little Charlotte
really, truly, briefly with Charlotte.
Yeah.
She is... basically, the biggest scene is she's talking with Anthony.
Yeah.
Our beloved Mario Cantone is back. And she's stressing about, she's like, well, the doctor says we have to wait a couple months to get pregnant. And she kind of wants to go back to work. And she's like, but what if I get pregnant right when I go back to work, blah, blah, blah. And Anthony's like, I'm bored. I don't care, which is a little mean, but like, we've all been there with a friend who's like talking in circles around the same thing.
It is, but it's also too,
over and over.
She's been, I'm imagining, especially, we're talking about months at a time. Like, I feels like even before the
pregnancy loss.
Thank you. I was I'm trying to, because I know we've discussed the
right.
Yeah. So even before the pregnancy loss, as soon as her and Harry got married, she was like, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's been talking about this shit since her and Harry been married. And like, yes, we understand. Like, that's why, Mario's like, everyone knows it's important to you. Like, everyone, anybody who's ever met you, even people who don't know you, know it's important. The fucking homeless guy, on the bench knows that you're want to have a baby. So it's just, I get it. It's a little mean, but like, it's also like, bitch,
but that's part of what his character, he's the little wake up call. Like,
well, that's just like anybody. It's like, we have friends. It's like, at some point it's like, can we talk about anything else? Like, did you have a burrito today? Like, anything.
I love when he's like, I'll give you $100 to say something bitchy about somebody we know.
First of all, and I don't know why Charlotte hesitated. That's the most easiest $100 you can make. I mean, you tell me you ain't got nothing. You got nothing.
I'd make $100. I love people. I love my friends. But I'm like, I'll make $100.
If they like, hey, I heard you talking shit. Like, I made $100.
Like, yeah, I'll split it with you 50-50. Let's get.
No, fuck that. Fuck that. That's my job. I did the work. You ain't getting 50 of it. Fuck you saying.
But he does beg her to at least stop and look at the light, and she's like, gets all metaphorical. He's like, no, I mean literally look at the beautiful like sun kind of sunsetty light in the park, and it is beautiful. As you said, fall in New York is lovely.
It's gorgeous.
Fall is my favorite time of year.
It's nice. It's really
just
nice.
About anywhere. It's
except in Los Angeles. I don't like it that much. Because it's like it's not as if you're in a place that has like true nature, then it's nice. You know what I mean? But then other than that, it's like Like around here, like in North Hollywood, it's nice because there's actual trees and foliage and shit like that, so I actually get to see it. But like if you live in West Hollywood, you know what I mean,
or the more deserty like
areas.
It's
not really. You're not getting much out of it.
Yeah, getting as much. Yeah.
But she is right though. Like at the end of the day, even if she doesn't get pregnant, she does still have her husband. It's like,
yes,
maybe do honestly try to concentrate on that, because as a husband, you don't want to feel like you're not enough for this person. You know what I mean? Yes, I understand that she wants to have a baby, and this has always been important to her. But it's like, if we never have one, how's that gonna make him feel? You know what I mean? Because it's affecting him too, because he wants, as a husband, he wants to give his wife what she wants.
Yeah.
And if he can't, he's gonna feel a type of way too.
Yeah.
So.
And she happens to see, while they're in the park, a blind person walking by, and she's like, well, maybe I should like get out of my own head and like do something for somebody, like volunteer to help the blind. Yeah. And so she goes to the like a agency or something like that, some kind of center, which you mentioned everybody knows that she's like, we're focused on the baby stuff. Even the volunteer lady, like we get the scene starts and Charlotte's like, and I want to get pregnant, and the woman's like, so you said yes.
Like, didn't really need that detail, lady. Like, do you want to help the blind or what?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening here? I don't care why you're doing it. Just like, are you gonna do the job well? That's really what we're looking for here.
Yeah. And so she's told to try the kind of blind experience by having like a friend lead her around while she's blindfolded before you like commit to doing this, so that she kind of like.
Which I like that idea, actually, by the way. It's a good idea to like have some like experience it. That way you know how to like what you're doing when you're guiding said person.
Yeah. And so Carrie and Charlotte go. I wrote down the mall. Apparently it's Barney's. Sorry, fashion people. Well, it looked like a bloody mall to me.
I mean, if that's what Barney looks like inside, ridiculous, okay?
Absurd.
It's a mall. Absurd.
Sorry. Maybe a nice mall. Like, I don't know about the area you grew up in, but there was definitely the nice mall and then the not so nice mall.
No, 100%.
Varying degrees of mall.
Definitely, yeah. The bad mall was Town East, where I come from, Town East Mall, and then the good one was the Galleria.
Mine was so 12 Oaks was the good mall. And Summit Place was the bad mall because that was closer to Pontiac, Michigan. But Summit Place Mall used to have a store. It got bought. It was Hudson's, which was like eventually part of Macy's and blah blah blah. But Hudson's had around Christmas for several years these super cool walk-through animatronic displays of different like fairy tale things, or they did the Wizard of Oz one year. Okay. So it's just like a cool walk. You just walk through and there's the little vignettes, with like a plaque saying what it is, and they would move and have little special effects. They were just super cool. It was like what old school department stores used to do.
I like that. Yeah.
And actually one of the first ones we went to was like a Peter Pan one, and I got fucking terrified by the Captain Hook because I was like 5. But they were. I'm still to this day. I need to Google like. There's got to be some kind of like history information or like visual something of them, because it was like the highlight. Like, oh shit, it's Christmas time. They're gonna bring in like the Cinderella or the Beauty and the Beast. Like they had a Mr. Toad one, I think. Nice. They were just. It's like a magical like memory for me, and I'm like, and that was at a fucking department store that used to be like.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember that stuff too, man. It's funny that you said Peter Pan. I literally just watched Hook, and I was like, man, this is amazing. It's so good. It's so good. It makes it, and it's like good, and it makes me sad at the same time, because A, I can't live that adventure. B, R.I.P. Robert Williams, and like always. Also the third is like there's a whole generation of people who can't appreciate this movie because they've never seen it.
Yeah. I
don't care to see it either. It's like y'all don't even understand. It's a cinematic masterpiece, low-key.
I tried to watch it about a month after Robin Williams passed away, thinking,
how could you do that?
I couldn't. It turns out, but I legit was like, well, it's not like you knew him personally, so what's the harm in watching it? 2 hours later, I was like, I was like, to live would be an awfully big adventure. Oh my god. Sorry, we're so off track.
No. And Hook is also one of those movies where like you kind of don't want it to end. It's like, all right, let's go on another. Like once the movie ends, and you see, Total go off into the Neverland. It's like, all right, let's see his adventure now. Like, I don't like, also there again. I don't think that would be as cool as we think, because like
Probably
when
not.
he gets to Neverland, he's an old man.
Yeah.
Like an old man, not like a middle-aged man, but like an old man. And he's gonna be hanging out with a bunch of kids. Like we didn't think about that when the movie ends, that like he's about to go to Neverland and just be hanging out with like adolescent kids. As an old man, that has a lot of bad context to it.
No.
Not
Toodles.
Listen, I know Toodles is a good guy. I'm just saying the look of it is not nice. Yeah. The look of it is not great. Anyway.
It turns out Charlotte's not going to be a good volunteer for the blind, or neither would Carrie, as it turns out.
Yeah, no, it's really on Carrie because like, she kind of screwed her. Yeah.
So they're at the Barneys, sorry, not the mall, the Barneys. And Charlotte puts on the blindfold, and Carrie gets a call from Alexander because she's
Alexander.
Sorry, I fucked it up already. Alexander. About him coming back into town the next day, blah, 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 their relationship stuff. She's all excited, and Charlotte's like, no, it's cool. So she's like left wandering the like store, and she keeps bumping into people, and it's like played for comedy.
Well, here's the thing. I don't even understand. Okay, here's my thing. I don't understand how she got taken away from the spot. Like, I understand that she was getting bumped, like a bunch of people out of as soon as Carrie leaves, somehow a bunch of people showed up. I know it was played up for but like, how did she just get taken? Like, did somebody take her by the like? Why did she start?
Well, I think you get like swept up in a crowd. You don't want to necessarily like stand still in a crowd. So you're like, well, I'll try to move out of the way. But she's like committing to the blindfold, so she's not sure where she's going. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Before she put on, because they got into the Barneys, and then she put on the blindfold. Yeah. So like, you're at least spatially aware that there's a rail in front of you. So just walk towards the rail and stay there. How did you get swept into a whole other departments of the Barneys? Like, she got swept into like leisure
perfume,
perfume and fucking the shoes. It's like, who was taking you?
Yeah. Anyway. But she they lose track of each other, and Charlotte's wandering around and getting like sprayed with perfume, and then she finally like bumps into the shoe table, and they're kind of implying like that's how she sees the light, is because it's shoes. But that's where she also sees Carrie, who's been like, I looked for you, and I thought better if she finds me.
I mean, low key, it's like
so on brand for Carrie.
Oh, though. It is. Well, here's the thing, because every time she's kind of winning, like these last few episodes, she's been winning some cool like friend points because she's been like helping people out and like actually being a good friend. And even in this episode, she was saying, because Charlotte was like, oh, this is, selfish or whatever. And she was like, no, you're helping people. This is a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then immediately abandons her right after she gives this. It's like...
Well, I guess there's a reason Carrie's not volunteering with the blind or the deaf or anyone.
Dude, please. First of all, even if she genuinely gave it a shot, she somehow messed it up. By being Carrie. No, please don't let her guide blind people. They would all be in
Don't let her guide anybody.
I mean, that's for sure.
But she finds cute shoes to meet Alexander the next day, so that's nice.
I guess.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Like every other fucking pair of shoes you own. Whatever.
Not what she came for, but it's fine. Cool.
That's Charlotte's story.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. That's the end of the game.
So, who would you like to talk about next? I have to know your thoughts.
I know. Here's the thing. I think we got to talk about Samantha, and it hurts me because it's Samantha, and she is like, what she did in this episode was just awful.
It's heartbreaking. It's sad.
Awful. And it's more awful because it came from Samantha. Like, if this was a Carrie all day, right up her alley, she does this, she's done this. Mm-hmm. We off that. You know what I mean? Like we've seen it all before. But the fact that this came from Samantha, it hurt my heart. Because this is not her. It's not who she is. And it's like, it just seems so forced. It's like they just, like, these writers threw it in on us, and it was just like, we need a twist.
I think it's funny. So we'll just talk about it.
Get into it, yeah.
So part of the discussion with Carrie, and we'll discuss it more, is that Alexander is older, he's like 53, and Carrie is probably now, I don't know,
36,
37,
37, yeah, somewhere.
38.
No, not 38, not 38. I think like 37.
I think she turns 38, or they mentioned 38 later in the season, actually.
Okay.
So
we'll
say
she's 37.
37. Hi, it's me. Where is my older Russian ballet dancer? Why am I not just bumping into them?
Well, I don't think too many of them live in Los Angeles. You probably
probably
have to go to New
not
York for that. Yeah.
Shut up.
Hate to break it down to you, but not too many. I mean, there are Russians here in Los Angeles. Don't get me wrong; they are here. But
I've seen the neighborhoods. I've read the signs.
They're here. They're here.
Yes.
Just, I just don't think too many of them are not for you to find your ballet.
Probably not. It's okay.
You're a famous artist, Russian. He's definitely not going to be here. He's definitely going to be in New York.
That's fine. Anyway, so the age gap is a thing. So if he's 53, she's 37, we'll say that's like almost 20 years, like 16-year difference.
Yeah, close to, yeah.
Which, let me just tell you, when I set the dating apps, I'm all right with that.
I think most women are like, I think there's, I think women in their 20s for the most part probably don't do that because they think it's like weird or whatever. But it's like, if they were smart, that's who you want to go with, especially if you're looking for a future and a husband.
And that's kind of Samantha's thing when she and Carrie are just talking, the two of them. Is, Samantha kind of admits like she's a little jealous because Samantha's a little closer in age to Alexander. But he's still older, and she's like, he's got moves and stuff like that.
Knowledge, he's established, he knows
knowledge,
where he's going.
And kind of knows what's going on. And she's like, I like Smith a lot, but like I've had to teach him more than and sometimes you don't want to do that kind of work and stuff like that. So she kind of admits she's feeling a little, seeing Carrie with Alexander's kind of making her question her whole situation or relationship with Smith. So it kind of is getting to her. So Smith gets invited to like a top 30 under 30 at like Teen Posse magazine.
Which, I mean, and he brings it up to Samantha, and she's like, not even. She's like, no, I don't want any part of this. Which, I mean, totally, I wouldn't either. I'm 45 years old. I don't want to go to no party like that. Like, hell no.
Because also, there's nothing like sadder than like an older person like trying to be cool at like a young thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's not that you can't,
like 20s and 30s, like early 30s. Like we're talking like 31 max.
Yeah. Not that you can't go or pull it off, but it's not as much fun.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, because at the end of the day, okay, let's say like somebody like me, I probably don't look as old as I am. So I can go to a place like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we can go there and people probably won't know that. But here's the thing. As soon as they start talking and you start talking and you're like, yeah, I don't really belong. Like the stuff that y'all are talking about right now, don't give a fuck about. And I'm gonna start saying some shit that y'all don't even know about. And that's when you start to really see the dynamic. Yeah. And that's where I started to feel my age, is when we start speaking about things. Because I realized you're talking about shows that I don't give a fuck about. I'm just like, all right, all right, that's time for me to go home.
Yes.
This is
yes, 100%. But so she doesn't really want to go until she sees that Richard Wright, her ex, is like hosting it. Yeah. And she's like, you should go. He's, the hot thing in hotels, and she's like, and I'll come too. So she's not, so she doesn't.
See, and that's where it starts to go downhill for her. So I'm like, all right, I understand that she's feeling some type of way about her and Smith's relationship, him being younger, her being, senior to him by almost 20 years. But it's like, now you see your ex-boyfriend's name on the card, and all of a sudden you want to go. Like the disrespect is already starting. The fact that name sparks feelings in you already, and now you're interested in going to this party that you had zero interest in. I was not feeling it.
Yeah,
of course, Smith is too stupid to realize. Like,
yeah, it takes a long time. Basically,
it was pretty obvious that, like, from the jump, as soon as like she read that card, like, all of a sudden,
Oh, okay.
Oh, all of a sudden, yeah, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
I would have, that first question would have been like, well, why'd you change your mind? What made you change your mind?
Yeah.
Because Smith didn't say anything, convincing, or he didn't like have no kind of convincing argument of why she should be there.
Yeah.
And he pretty much let it go immediately when she was like, I don't want to go. He's like, well, just check it out and tell me, look at the invitation and tell me if
what
you
you
would
think.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all he asked. So the fact that she lit up all of a sudden should have been like, whoa, what's going on?
So they're there and they're lined at the party, and she's like, we should just cut in line. He's like, I don't like to do that, which is so me. I'm so bad at, like, for all the LA shit I've done, I'm really bad about, like,
fuck that. If my name is on the list, I'm
flexing.
cutting the line. Y'all motherfuckers waiting to get in. You ain't supposed to be here. You out here trying to front, you know what I'm saying? Especially now, y'all trying to get, Instagram pictures and shit like that for your clout. No, I'm on the list. I'm sliding to the front.
But I have a funny story about that. I, thanks to one of my very close friends, got to go to the Halloween Ends premiere. And now I did have to wait in the will call line. I was going to pick up my ticket. I am on the list, but I'm still on the, you got to wait a little. Okay. While I'm in line, though, there's like a younger guy ahead of me, and then an older guy, and like some kind of assistant type person. And I kind of am thinking the older guy looks a bit familiar. He's got a hat on and stuff like that. And I start to realize that's fucking John Carpenter, the director.
Oh. Wait, what is he doing in a will call live?
He was gonna hang out and wait to get in line. It wasn't super long. Like, it was sort of just like waiting for the next batch of people to go.
Yeah.
And he was like good. He was content to just kind of hang, but then like the younger guy for me was very like a publicity type young guy, and he was like, "You should go ahead." And like somebody took a picture, and that's what tipped me off. And this publicist guy was not working for him, but he was like, sort of like, you should kind of go now before it gets crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And John Carpenter kind of was like, all right, and just went on his way. And I was like, was that? And the guy was like, yeah. I was like, I fucking love that he was just gonna hang in line.
I mean, yeah, respect to
the fact that
that he would do that. But honestly, also though, like, when you're that kind of celebrity, you gotta keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because people will be in your shit.
But just it still happens.
Yeah,
can happen. But I do like Samantha dragging him to front, telling him to grow up, which is a little mean, but.
Yeah, but also you on the list, my boy. Like,
you're on the list, buddy. You can.
Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it.
So she drags him up there, and Richard is like right at the door, and he tries to ice Smith out like right away. So mean.
Yeah, because they get into the list, and of course Smith is on the list, and like the door guy gets all excited about seeing Smith. It's like, oh yeah, come right on in, and then he's like, who are you? To Samantha. Yeah. Which is crazy to me, honestly, because she seems like a pretty well-known person on that island, especially for events like this. So, yeah, he may not be excited, but you would think that he would know who she is. It just by name alone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, my God. So Richard, like, is like, that's Samantha Jones, and, like, lets her, and then, like, puts the rope down. Immediately
turns his back too. Like, he didn't even look at Smith. He was like, okay,
he's like, see ya. Is that your cab driver escorting you up here? Like, what's happening? And Smith has to be like, hey, dude, let me as well.
Like,
And they're inside, and it is it is a young vibe party.
Yeah.
And Richard and Samantha are having a drink at the bar together and like teasing each other. He's teasing her about dating this younger guy, but she's like, aren't you hosting, like teen posse? Like, look at everybody here, bro. Like, come on. And Smith comes up and hugs her from behind, and is like, oh, how do you know each other? And they admit to seeing each other. They don't lie about it.
Nope.
And Richard's like, and I fucked it up. So, like, I guess some kudos to them for not trying to, hem and haw or fib or anything about, like, their connection. But then a couple of girls come up and, like, drag Smith away, and they're like, so-and-so's, like, snorting pretzels at his nose. I think they misunderstand 27, 20 something.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, sure. Are there some people that still act like that when in their late 20s and early 30s? Of course. However, they really were trying to play up the idea that him and Samantha were,
the age
years
gap.
apart.
Youth. Yeah.
Because like those girls, how they were acting were like they were acting like little 19, 20-year-olds, not and maybe they were, and maybe they were, but it was a little they hammed it up a little bit,
a little much.
Yeah.
But so Smith gets dragged away, and Samantha is going to go upstairs with Richard. Like she's about to get on the elevator to go up. I'm assuming this is at Richard's hotel somewhere. Yeah, and Smith spots her, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go look at the room." He's like, well, "Can I come?" And she's like, "No, you can't. It's been fun, but where is this going? You play with your friends, I'll play with mine." But she's so sad, even just saying this. Like I feel like she's regretting it. Even in the moment?
No, I don't think she was. I think she was. Okay. She was like that moment. She was very sure of herself, like that. Yeah. She knew that she wanted to go upstairs with Rich. Like this was more her speed. This is what she's been looking for. Because then to go back to the conversation she had with Carrie about like wanting to date an older guy who's established, who knows what he wants, who has moves, who knows how to be romantic and not just some guy that she has to like walk through everything. So I think in that moment, she definitely thought that this is what she...
And that's watching it fresh versus me knowing what happens.
Yeah. You got to take that part out of it. Yeah. Take that part of it. But I think she definitely, for sure, felt like this is the right move. Mm-hmm. But like, the way that she did it, though,
it's so mean.
Disrespect,
and he's so sweet. He looks so crushed when she says that. Oh. Like my sweet.
And he just takes it. Angel baby. He's just like, okay, I guess I'll just go back to hanging out or whatever. You go have your fun. It's like, bruh, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. There's no amount of love. Because here's my thing. I can be in love with a woman, but if she's literally about to leave me at a party to go fuck her ex, there's no way I'm going to be like, all right, that's cool. Go do your thing. Like I might say that, but like it ain't cool. You know what I mean? Like you go do your thing because I can't physically stop you from going to do it. You're your own person. I ain't trying to go to jail. However, just know when you come back down, you will never be seeing each other.
Yeah. Well, that's I think that like what happens colors my reading of her after the fact. So she and Richard go upstairs, they're fucking, she's like so not into it, and like
she's clearly like disassociated from it basically.
Yeah, she's it was a
little bit fucked up, honestly. That sex scene, because she was like literally
she's like miles away,
out of body experience while he was inside of her.
And he's rambling about something, and kind of the larger point is that like she just doesn't give a fuck about what he has to say. As it turns out, she thought she would, she thought she did, and it turns out like in a way he's boring to her basically, but like it's kind of sad. And so she takes the elevator back down to the party, and Smith is still there waiting for her. And then the super like novelty romantic side of me is like him knowing that she didn't even really want to, in a way she did not want to do what she did in her heart of hearts, but obviously she did it anyway.
That's the thing, is like no matter what, even if she didn't really, okay, let's say,
but she still did it.
That's the thing. She still made the choice. Yeah. She still made the choice to go upstairs because he came and she looked him in his eyes and said, "This is what I want." You know what I mean? He came. And it's like, "Hey, I'm here. You sure this is what you know?" What I mean, because like that's what basically when he was like, "Can I come?" That was her out. That was her. He was extending an olive branch, saying like, "Look, we can go up there together. You don't have to do nothing stupid, and we can come back down and continue this thing." Yeah. And she still chose to go up there alone. That would have been it for me. Sorry. Because at the end of the day, she's bagging on him for being a young kid and being young and like not knowing shit. But it's like, okay, fine. Reverse that. You a grown ass woman. Why are you going upstairs with this dude? Yeah. If you didn't want to end things with us.
All good
points. There's no fucking way I'd be sitting there. And he was like waiting
he
like
clearly
a
just
a dog waiting for his owner to come back home. Smith, what are you doing? It was Aiden all over.
I was gonna say young Aiden vibes.
Young Aiden.
Baby Aiden.
Oh my God, the disrespect the men in this show take. There's no way. I'd have all these women murdered. What are you talking about? I have assassinated. What are you talking about? I have cab drivers take him out. What are you talking about?
And she immediately apologizes that he's waiting there. This is definitely a moment where like Smith rockets up everybody's like favorite boyfriend list because it's just like he waited for her. He knew she didn't, not that she didn't mean to, but like,
I'm sorry. Once I know that his penis was in your vagina, you're no longer my girl. That's done. He penetrated you. If you'd have went upstairs and then 30 seconds later came back downstairs and been like, hey, I'm sorry, I lost myself for a second. Can we try this again? Different story. Y'all were up there for a minute. Definitely long enough to have some sex. Yeah. So, no.
But he's still, he's waiting there for her. She apologizes. He says, I wanted to make sure you got home safe. I think regardless of her like essentially cheating on him, I think just the like, oh my god, you care enough to make sure I get home safe.
Well,
like...
technically, here's the thing. The thing about it was she was about to go cheat on him. What saved her was Smith showing up right before they got on the elevator.
Yes,
and then she basically broke up with him before she got on the elevator.
True.
But she was basically on the path to go cheat, which was again just so not Samantha.
Yeah, well,
especially after all the shit she gave Richard.
That's true. She's not a cheater by nature. She has hooked up. She has been the other woman as they've alluded to in the past. But in fairness, she's always been like, that was their choice to hook up with me. No, I did not pursue a taken man.
Correct.
Which so is that is
100%. 100%. I agree with that. She's never, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why this is just so out of character for her, because she was about to go upstairs and be like, hey, I'm going to be a Carrie Bradshaw right now. And honestly,
Smith,
on a different level.
Richard has to stay in our life, Smith.
Yeah.
Because he's my friend.
Low key, she might have been a little bit more disrespectful than Carrie has been. You know what I mean? The fact that she was just going to be like, he's at a party. Because, like, yeah, she could chop it up to like, oh, he's flirting with other girls, but like, he's down there flirting. You think he's in the back room? Like, Smith ain't that type of dude. So, like, there's I don't understand what justification she could have had in her brain other than, like, even if you're saying, like, well, there's no, like, yeah, she can sit there and talk herself up and be saying, like, oh, there's no future with us. He's so young. I'm older than him. There's no, doesn't matter. You break it off and then you go. Like, he basically saved her from cheating, essentially.
Yeah.
Because if he didn't show up, she just would have went there, fucked him, and then came back downstairs and probably acted like nothing happened. She probably wouldn't even told. Okay, so let's say he's never showed up to the elevator. She goes upstairs, fucks Richard, finds out that that's not really what she wants, comes back down, feels guilty. I think they just would have went home. She probably would have been like, hey, let's go home. I'm ready to get out of here. And that would have been, like, she would have told him.
Yeah. But I bet he would have. He's not that stupid, so like the vibe would have shifted. I think, and he would. I think.
I don't know about that because he was definitely sitting down there waiting for her to come back after she fucked some other dude. So that nigga's stupid. The fact that he didn't see the sparks flying between them while they were having scotch, and he was like trying to come up being like,
I think he did. But he's not smart enough. He's still immature enough to leave the situation rather than be like, no, I should stay by my lady here. I don't know. Yeah, I think all your points are valid though. But and then as he's leaving,
first of all, there's no way I'm gonna let out. Even in my 20s, there's no way I'm gonna sit by the bar and let some dude basically I fuck my girl while I'm there.
Yeah, like
I can understand a dude staring at her. That's different from afar. But like they were basically giving each other fuck me eyes. There's no way I'm gonna let that kind of disrespect roll. This never.
Yeah.
I'd at least been like, so what's going on here? Y'all about to like, do I just
you fucking?
Yeah, like what the deal, baby? What the deal? What's going on? What happened?
Yeah. But so he does gently lead her away, and apparently this is kind of the first time she feels like she really sees him.
Yeah.
Make of that what you will about how you feel, how he handled the situation. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say shit. I'm leaving that alone. I'm just saying that there's no fucking way I'm gonna be waiting downstairs other than to like tell her she's a piece of shit. That might be the only reason why. Like if I just felt in my heart that she needed to hear from me that she a piece of shit, then maybe I'd be downstairs.
This would have gone said differently had she come down and been like, Smith, he'd be like, "You're a fucking bitch, bye," and then like.
I wish he did. I wish he had. It would have been more respectable if he had. Instead of just being like, make sure you got home safe. Shut up! Grab your ball sack and go home. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Miranda or Carrie? I always want to end on Miranda.
I think we should. Yeah,
I think we should. I think we should. Too.
By the way, I got a question for you in regards to Miranda's story, because it's never really answered.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just want to know your theory on it.
Okay. Anyway, we'll get there.
We'll get there. I just dropping a seed for later.
Well, speaking of romantics and older men and this, that, and the other thing, Carrie, it's been like 3 weeks since the museum date. Yeah. With Alexander. And Carrie gets like a fancy envelope invite.
By the way, I have to ask you this.
Yes.
Real quick. Yeah. Okay, if you went out on one date with a dude and then you didn't hear from him for 3 weeks, would you be down to go out with a second date?
It would really heavily depend on, honestly, if he sent a beautifully calligraphied handwritten note. Yeah, then I'd go. But just like out of the blue, maybe not.
Interesting. Because also, I was like, 2 weeks is pushing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, but 3 weeks and then you come with a note, like, yeah, that's kind of cute or whatever, but also like there's this thing called telephones. You could at least give me a call saying what's up. Oh, I'm out of town. Oh, I've been busy, but I just want to say you're on my mind.
He implies maybe he didn't, because he felt a little rejected by her when she didn't go home with him right away. Like when they're in the park, they're joking about
that's ego shit. So, but okay, now, again, that's some ego shit, right? And again, I don't understand, because maybe I don't know women. Okay, so maybe from what I thought I understood women to a certain point, but maybe I don't. But to me, waiting 3 weeks to get in touch with a girl, and then also being like, well, the reason why I didn't call you is because you didn't fuck me. Like, I don't see how that advances him into the next level of getting the ass.
That's a good point.
A girl like Carrie, yes, but like a normal woman that's like not fucking, damaged. I don't know. That's not damaged. I feel like that would be a definite no. Like, because you come to me after 3 weeks, like, hey, you didn't give me no pussy. I just want to make sure I came back and got it, and then we'll see what happens after that. Yeah, that's basically what he told her. That's basically what he said. You didn't fuck me, so I came back to try again.
I think they're playing into the whole like chase nature of shit, where it's like he's putting on like slick romance novel like moves to chase her down.
Well, here's the thing,
that too. Is attractive to be pursued that way.
That is
with a hand calligraphy note.
Yes, but it's also too, because the only people that I think can get away with this is celebrities, and he's kind of a celebrity, right? So, if you're thinking this is like a famous, somebody, like, I'm sure if somebody went on a date with Drake and didn't fuck him, and then like he came back 3 weeks later, they're like, yeah, it's still Drake. Like, let's meet up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the only people. I think it's only celebrities, and maybe
I agree.
Billionaires. If you're a girl from like bumfuck whatever, and some billionaire wants to like be with you, you'll probably be like, yes, maybe, but that's it.
Because I think with a celebrity type person, you'd probably think like, well, oh, they got busy, or they, or maybe they're with other people. I'd be like, he's probably fucking other people. And the notion that like, oh, you came back around to me? Well, okay, let's chat.
I feel special. No, you're not special. You just wanted to feed his ego. That's all. That's the ego fuck. That's all he wanted.
But it's feeding my ego to be made to feel.
Yeah, but he's feeding your ego. Moment. But it's not feeding your ego legitimately. He's only feeding your ego to get his ego fed, which is
but sometimes you just want an ego feed too.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
do this thing with the hands and feed each other's egos.
Great, but it eliminates the goal if you let him get some, which Carrie did. Like, if she like went out with him again and didn't have sex with him, we're talking like, hey, like, all right, now she's winning the game.
She didn't take her time.
as soon as he brought out the chocolate on the bench, she was like, "Ooh, he brought dark chocolate. He getting some ass."
But they didn't fuck on the bench. She said she wanted to, but they didn't.
Yes, but here's the thing. The only reason why she did it is because they were on a public bench. If they'd have been at her apartment or somewhere private, she probably would have banged him. That's the point, Elizabeth. She was gonna give it up immediately. As a matter of fact, she knew she was gonna fuck him as soon as they got away from the bench. She was like, "I'm going to get waxed today."
Yeah,
she went that day to get waxed because she knew she was gonna give him some ass that night.
Yeah,
ridiculous. You only do this because you're a celebrity. That's it. I'm a little hurt. I'm a little upset. Just saying, you can't pull this off as a regular dude 3 weeks later.
No, probably not.
Hey, you didn't have sex with me. I think you should this time. That's basically what he said to her. And she was like, eat this chocolate and then I'm gonna let you fuck me.
If any number of the various gentlemen I've mentioned before on here pulled that off, and
Hugh Jackman could call you 3 weeks later and be like, "Hey, come back." Yeah, of course.
And and the imaginary scenario, he's not married and whatnot,
Right. Yeah, I don't know. He might be able to get you even married.
I'm no side chick.
You're a liar. You're lying. You are a liar. You are a liar. All he has to do is come in with that Australian accent and a nice beard. He's got you. He's fucking what, 6'3", 6'2", something like that. Yeah, he got you. You shut your face. He brings some chocolate and a bullshit ass letter in that Australian accent, and you were like, all right.
You know who would pull it off now is
I would have to say to make you reassure you, just be like, oh, my wife's okay with it, and then he'd be like, okay, as long as she's fine.
No, the one everyone's thirsting on the internet for now is Pedro Pascal. Yeah, that I'd be like, yeah, come back to me anytime you want, pal. That's all.
I don't see it. He's a great actor, but I don't see it. But that's just my personal.
I would say he is not conventionally attractive, but he has a lot of like charisma, personality, and he's like interesting looking. Yeah, he's so he's goofy as fuck, and I think that's part of what makes him very attractive. Is he is very silly, like in interviews, and goofy and giggly. Do you know how many times I've watched the Wired interview with him and Oscar Isaac? And they're like cracking each other up, and he's just like straight up goofy. And
no, I have not seen this, but I need to watch it.
It's really fun. It's really funny. I love the part. There's one part where they're saying somehow like it's one of the Google Wired, autocomplete questions is, who does Pedro Pascal look like? And they name some people, and then Oscar Isaac goes, a baby chicken. And he's like, wait, who told you that? I've been told that before. And he's like, I just came up with it. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, I do look like a baby chicken. And they're just dying. But then he says that Oscar Isaac looks like Sam the Eagle from the Muppets. Which he totally does. That heavy brow and everything.
Solid.
It's really funny.
Solid.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's solid.
It's really
and baby chicken and Sam the Eagle. That's pretty solid. Pretty solid across both.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. So they don't fuck in the park because it is a public space and you can get arrested for that. But the girls are all searching for fragrances.
I don't know, it's New York. They might be like, all right, whatever. They might just
show's over, folks. Moving along, nothing to see here. I don't know why an old-timey Irish cop is coming by, but they are.
We went back to gangs in New York.
Show's over, folks. Nothing to see here. Moving along.
Nothing to see here.
And real quick, so total side note, because they are perfume shopping.
Yes.
What kind of perfumes do you like? I was thinking about this one.
Perfumes?
Yeah, scents.
Honestly,
for yourself and or for your lady.
For myself, my favorite cologne is Aquamarina.
Okay, I don't know.
It's a Bavari cologne. It's a scent from Bavari. Yeah. Or Bulgari. Sorry, Bulgari. Bulgari, yeah.
I never know.
Bulgari.
Yeah.
And then for women, honestly, I don't really know a lot of women's scents.
I guess what type of smell do you like?
I do like I honestly, I two. They're gonna be basically two conflicting kind of scents, but like I like it. I either like a woman that smells like has like a fruit smell.
Okay, yeah.
Like a fruit sweet smell.
Yeah, yeah.
Or just like I like when a woman smells like fresh laundry. It feels good to me. Like it feels like
a clean scent.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm talking about that good laundry, like
Mm-hmm.
the kind that like Hispanic women, like older Hispanic women, be having that good laundry smell, bro. It's like, they wash. You know what I'm saying? Like this is because it matters to me when a woman smells like fresh laundry. It's like, oh, she nurturing.
Yeah, it triggers laundry. That little part of your brain. Yeah.
Like she be taking care of the house.
I will be cleaned and cared for.
Yeah. I think most dudes fuck with that smell, like legitimately, and because of that, it's like, yeah, she nurtures, she takes care of the house. Like I'm gonna be walking out the house, like my shit gonna be smelling, like no cologne needed, because my shit gonna be smelling like the freshest laundry.
All right.
Yeah. What about you? What's your sense?
For me personally, I like sort of along. I like a minty almost scent, not like a mouthwashy minty, but like a clean, like a eucalyptusy minty sort of.
Okay.
Like I guess herbal maybe is a better way to describe it. Yeah. Kind of herbal, almost grassy, for lack of a better word.
What about lavender? You okay with
lavender? Love lavender.
Okay. That's what I like to use. If I don't have cologne on me, I just throw a little lavender spray down,
Love a lavender. I have like a lavender hand lotion and stuff like that. What else and like citrus, I like lemony, like it's like a lemon lavender kind of thing. It's kind of go together, I guess. But and then like for guys, definitely like woodsy, like mossy, like like a masculine scent for.
Okay, I'm with it.
Because that triggers my you're gonna chop wood for me, like.
Yeah.
Maybe a little smoky.
Okay.
Like.
Okay.
Not campfire, but that kind of were you just starting like a fire in this log cabin that also has Netflix that we hang out in?
That's funny. I like it. That's what's up.
So yeah, I'm always curious what kind of sense people like, just because of and the scene reminded me about it. But yes,
they were trying to figure out themselves, and I'm just like, I couldn't, like, if someone asked me like, what do I smell like, or what should I smell like, it's like, those are my two things.
And also you gotta
some fruity or some laundry.
I don't like a super floral or like vanilla-y.
No, I don't like vanilla. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
It's so common. Like I do have like a perfume that I've been like sort of trying out, but I think I wear it almost too lightly, so like no one ever goes, oh, what are you wearing? I think I need to add a little more, but I don't want to like reek of it at the same time. So, and it's like go ahead. A green tea, but it's got a little citrus.
Green tea,
not tea, but kind of tea, but it doesn't smell like green tea, but it's sort of freshy, grassy citrus. I don't know.
Okay. Now somebody today, a friend of mine at the gym, she was wearing Tommy Girl cologne. I was like, first of all,
oh my, they still make Tommy Girl?
I was like, did you go to a vintage store yesterday? Like, where the fuck did you find Tommy Girl? I was like, I haven't smelled that since junior high school.
I can't even still smells good. What it smells like.
It smells great. I can tell you that. I can tell you it's still a solid perfume. But I was just, when she said that, I was just like, okay.
Tommy Girl.
Did you get in a time machine and go back to fucking 2001? What the fuck did that? Like, that's crazy.
Actually, the one song I liked that I don't know if they still make it. I think it's like Clinique Happy. That was kind of like that in that citrus, like fresh realm. I was into that. I never owned it, but I smelled it one time and I was like, oh. I was too broke to afford perfume when I was a teenager.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, they're perfume shopping, and Carrie is like, ladies, I'm thinking of taking a lovah.
Why was she saying it like that?
I don't know, but it made me think of that SNL sketch.
Yeah, I was thinking through the whole time. I was like, is this What there? Because was that sketch out around?
Semi-concurrent. I think
it feels like it was.
It wasn't too far after or before
right.
this.
Because this was still when Will Ferrell was on the show.
Yeah,
right? So when that was early 2000s.
The one that I can't remember how the whole context of the sketch, but they're talking about like we fed each other duck meat and then our bodies sluggish with duck meat.
Goat meat. It was goat meat.
Goat meat.
Goat meat.
Goat meat. You know.
Yeah.
And they're in like the hot tub or whatever. Yeah, it's great.
Barrymore.
Yeah, that's the one I remember the most, I think. And then all the like, my back, my back. You know?
Yeah. Get the hell off me.
Get the hell off me.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I can think of why she was saying it that way, because that sketch was like around at this time. It was like
maybe
a popular, funny sketch because no one else speaks that way, and she's never spoke this way. No one's ever said lover like that.
Have you ever referred to someone? Because she's calling him like a lover or lover, because I think she's trying to not like be in a relationship. But like, have you ever called like somebody like that a lover or lover?
No, and if somebody ever called me a lover, I would immediately stop loving them.
I'm like, we're done here.
We're done here. Like, this friends with benefits thing is done. You're not for me as a lover. No.
But I love when Carrie
unless she's like, if I'm dating an older woman, then I'll let her. You know what I'm saying? If she's like, 50 something, I'm like, all right, that's your realm. Y'all say lovers back then. I'm gonna let you rock. But like, if you're my age or a little younger, no, you don't get to say lover. That's not for you. That's not you. That's not you. No.
And Miranda's like, oh, the old guy? And Carrie's like, he's not old, he's mature.
Yo, Miranda's like, yo, disgusting. She's like, how can you do that? He's so old.
And she brings up that she's gonna do the bikini wax and stuff, and Miranda's like, I think he's still like, he's old, and Carrie's like, no, he's in his like lover perfect early 50s. And Samantha's like, that's a good age because he's been around the block and knows how to use his cock.
Oh, you're rhyming now.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, you're rhyming now. It was hilarious.
And Charlotte, of course, is like immediately rooting for it to be long term. She's like,
here's my thing though. I don't know. I feel like for dudes, because of how our bodies work, I think I would say 40 to 45 is probably the better range, because 50, you know what I mean? Like, well, I mean, unless you pop in the pills or whatever. And maybe a few lucky ones who's, stayed in shape and ate healthy and shit like that.
He's in good shape.
So yeah, he might actually can do it naturally, but I feel like, but even then, he's in good shape. But like, I also just, man, sex is a lot. I think sex is sometimes more strenuous than an actual workout in the gym. So at 50 something, you can be in good shape, but ain't no way he's like stroking it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Dudes drop dead of heart attacks in their 50s, fucking people. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot. Like, your heart rate is definitely higher than it is in the gym for sure. So I don't know. I was like, I don't think he's stroking it like that. Maybe just saying. Not. I feel like I said, that's what I think. I think 40 to 45 is probably the good range. I don't know about 50, early 50. You might be maybe it's good range for her because she's in her late 30s.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like a 31, 32-year-old woman, she'd probably be like, can you get it together?
Yeah.
Figure it out. This is, anyway.
But, Charlotte's like, oh, I think it's going to be long term. And Carrie's like, no, he's in and out of Europe, but I think that I just want this to be lovers. Stop saying it like that.
She kept saying it like that.
She kept saying
And the thing about it is like, okay, yes, maybe even if it came from a sketch, it's not funny when you say it, okay?
Yeah, it's weird when you do it.
Yeah. Like, you're trying to be unique and funny. It ain't working. Yeah. This ain't for you.
So Carrie does go get her business waxed.
Got the business.
And she realizes her waxer is Russian and asks for some words to say, like hello and thank you, which those are the Russian words.
Nice.
Здравствуйте, спасибо is thank you. Пожалуйста is please. I really wish I could string this sentence together better, having taken it in high school and college, but it's just been so long.
I don't know how many times you're speaking Russian.
It does not come up very often. Shockingly. I can say stuff like Здравствуйте, меня зовут Elizabeth. Я живу в California. I umenya machina. Hello, my name is Elizabeth. I live in California and I own a car.
Hey, that'll get you somewhere.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that'll get you somewhere.
Gdzie toilet and gdzie gostinitsa. Where's the toilet? Where's the hotel? Sometimes that's all you need.
That's all you need.
Gdzie taxi? Where's the taxi?
Not bad.
That's my flex. I tried to pick it back up on Duolingo during the pandemic, and boy, none of it stuck. Dude, I did it a ton during the pandemic on Duolingo. Yeah. I don't know if it works for other people. None of the information restuck at all. It's a bummer. Like, I'm like, how did I do that for months and not like rewire that section of my brain?
You know, I bet you.
I don't think it's the best learning format.
It's probably in there, but you would. I bet you, like, if you were in Russia right now, somebody started speaking it to you, your brain was turning. Because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I wasn't retaining it when I was learning German, and then as soon as I got over there and people were speaking it to me, your brain kind of switches that on to adjust to it. So, and of course, like now since I've been back and somebody would start speaking German to me, it probably take me a minute to like really get back into what I know. But when I was there, it was the synopses of that were firing off on all levels.
My friend who's done all this international travel, I asked him one time, I was like, "You're going to all these places. Do you know like a lot of foreign languages?" And he was like, I don't even know the Spanish, but it basically is like, I know a little Spanish. You know, it was like pico español, and I went, "That's a no."
So just say no.
Just say no, dude.
Just say no.
And I know most many places speak English for the bulk of what you're trying to do when you're being.
Yeah, that's another thing about Europe is because they do speak multiple languages, and most of them, like, because I think Spanish because Spanish is spoken in a lot of the world, and Mandarin is spoken in a lot of world, and English is. Those are like the three kind of universal languages, and they I mean, I don't know if in Europe they don't speak a lot of Mandarin, but Spanish and if you know Spanish and English, you're probably okay because most of them speak it. That's like even me when I was in Germany, I was trying to speak German. They're like, "We know English. It's
fine.
Thank you. We appreciate you trying, but we'll speak your language."
Yeah. I know I could probably get by better, but my first international travel in ages is to Ireland and Scotland, where they just they do speak English, but with some pretty thick accents, you know.
Yes, and some of them you have to. When I was in Ireland, there was our first cab driver. He had such a thick accent. I kept asking him to repeat things, and like, I don't know if he didn't seem like he felt that it was rude, but I felt I was rude. But I had literally every sentence he spoke, I had to ask him to repeat it because the accent was just so thick.
You know what?
I'm fast.
Yeah, they're fast. Yeah, you know what? I'm really sad. I'm usually pretty good. Like I watched Dairy Girls, no problem. I started Peaky Blinders finally. Everybody can calm down and get off my back. Yes, I like it. Yes, it's extremely up my alley, just as everybody told me it would be. But I had to pop on the subtitles. Yeah. I was so sad about myself. I was like, no, I'm usually really pretty good about picking up, but they're a lot mumblier and quieter. And I was like, damn it. It's like I'm missing shit. I gotta turn on these fucking subtitles.
Gotta do it.
But, oh well. But yeah, so Carrie picks up literally 2 words of Russian as she goes home with Alexander after dinner, and she says "Spasiba," thank you. He's like, "Oh, you know Russian? Is that the only word you know?" And she tries to say "Здравствуйте," which is pretty hard for a hello, I have to say.
Yeah, a lot to say hello.
And he's like, "That's okay. So you only know "Spasiba." Got it.
Hey, you know that's still good.
Yeah,
you know, at least say thank you. You can say thank you when somebody hands you something or whatever.
Yeah, that's that can get you.
Is a great thing to learn.
Manners is important. Yeah. And so he shows her like he's got a studio and an apartment. He like owns the whole floor of the building, which is pretty fucking cool. They get in the front door and he gives her like a little tour. It's very cool, very industrial, great view. And she's like, "Show me upstairs." And I wrote down "ooh la la" because I'm a child. But they hook up, and the next morning Carrie wakes up alone in the bed with a note that says he loves these notes. I'm so into the fucking
note guy.
notes.
Yeah. That's his move. That's one of his moves. I should say one of his moves.
I'll tell you, that shit would work.
I mean, in that regard, because they just had sex. Like that little note saying, "Hey, I made breakfast. Don't worry." You know what I mean? Like that's
pretty slick.
Classic. Pretty good. Pretty slick. I like it.
But she comes downstairs like in her undies, wearing his shirt, and there's like he's got like his staff there, like it's like 3 people all on the phone doing all this and that. She's like, oh, whoopsies.
Yeah.
And he's making pancakes, and he like quick introduces them to her, and they're like, yeah, whatever, we don't care.
Yeah. Also, too, like she's all bashful and shit like this. Like, I don't know if you noticed that they're all European. They don't care. That's naked bodies is not like, oh, like that's our shit. That's
and
American
again,
shit.
Sex columnist,
right?
Is her job description.
Right.
And she's like, oh no,
my stars, they saw me in my undergarments.
Oh heavens.
I'm not ladylike.
Yeah. And so then this gets her to the conversation, though. He's got to run off to Amsterdam, and she's just left there eating pancakes. Deal. I'll do it. Fine.
I mean, yeah, you're in a nice
They
house.
look good.
He's leaving you by yourself to eat pancakes. I mean, what?
No, free pancakes. Twist my arm.
Yeah. I woke up hungry and didn't have to make anything. Crazy.
What a nightmare.
What a piece of shit he is.
Oh, the worst. So Carrie's telling Samantha about this and about how unfazed the staff was. And Samantha's like, yeah, how many people, by the way, how many like pancakes do you think he served in that apartment? You fucking prude.
Right.
And
sends her on a spiral.
He sends her on the spiral, and she's like, yeah, it all felt choreographed. And that's when they get to talk about Smith and everything. And Carrie's like, well, I wonder how often like the pancake move has happened. And Samantha's like, does it matter? And Carrie's like, no. And then she immediately goes home and Googles him and his like dating history. And he's got like tons of famous lovers or lovahs, however you want to say it.
It's like, okay, my thing is, it's like, I feel like certain women fall into this trope all the time. It's like, okay, I get it. Y'all want to feel special, but you're dating a well-known dude. It's like saying, to go back to where we spoke about it, it's like saying dating Drake and then be like, oh, I wonder how many women he slept with. Why would you even think about that?
There's a whole sketch on SNL about how many women he's used in songs. He's Drake.
Yeah, he's Drake. Don't even think about that. If you start thinking about how many women that he could have had, that's just stupid. Of course he's had other women. Why do you think you like him? It's because other women. You think you're the most special girl that likes Drake? You think you're the only one in the world that wants to have sex and be with Drake? No. Does he treat every woman like this? Yes. Alex Rodriguez is famous for sending bitches home with goddamn fruit baskets.
Right, the gift baskets.
He's known for this. You think you're the first one that he's giving a basket to? No. No. Grow up. Jesus.
I know. And she's like, it would make more sense, frankly, if someone like me was a little more like shocked by it, because I haven't dated as much. So I don't have as like a long a dating history and things like that. But for her to be like,
what? It's just knowledge. Like, unless you just got off the fucking dairy farm from goddamn, being a Quaker, there's no reason, there's no reason that you would think that this guy hasn't had sex with. Like, you think he lost his virginity to you last night? Right. Like, stop it.
Yeah. Again, to go back to like, and I'm not like, I don't know his life or whatever, but again, to go back to like Pedro Pascal or something like that. If I was like, what, he like has seen other women or people, that's insane. Like, that'd be
this famous well-known guy,
famous well-known dude that people lust after on the internet.
No way.
What? Oh my god, I can't believe he's not only dated other people, but like many other people. My stars.
Yeah, okay.
I actually don't know if he has, but he probably has.
Of course. No, yes. But it's like, it's also, okay, you got to think about it. Okay, think about a normal dude. Like, we all know, like, most women know that, depending on, like, if, most guys, depending on how they conduct themselves, probably slept with a few. Okay, now imagine that dude with clout.
Yeah.
You think if the regular dude has been giving out dick, you think the guy who's famous ain't been giving out dick?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Slanging it all over. All over Manhattan. Shut up.
Yeah. All over Manhattan, all over Europe.
I mean,
world, baby.
Yeah, the world, baby. The world.
So she Googles him, and then she's like, talks about women getting attached after sex, and all the questions that come up with like, where is it all going?
Right.
And even when you try to keep it light, like, how do you why do we always go down that path? Which happens. Like, I was talking to a friend about, like, she had a successful date and is gonna have like another one, and she was like, and I thought about, he's like vegetarian, and he's like, but he's not pushing anybody. It's like, it's just my thing. I don't care. And she's like, I had to stop myself from being like, oh no, my family's not gonna get along with him because he's vegetarian. She's like, we only had one date. Like, how did I end up there? Like, it's just, that shit happens. So, it's that part is true.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's cute when y'all do that sometimes.
But Carrie,
cases out there.
Yeah, everybody's cuckoo. It's fine. But Carrie does meet up with Alexander after he comes back from Amsterdam, and he's even got souvenirs for her. Cool.
Yeah.
Wooden shoes.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. What do they call those?
Clogs.
Clogs. Yeah.
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 So they hook up again, and he goes to work in his studio because he is, the night owl artiste up all night. And Carrie realizes that she's not like comfortable in lover mode. She's like, she wants more, whatnot. So she gets dressed and goes to the studio space where he's like welding and working on some kind of like light installation thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna go. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll call you. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna kind of try to call it off. And she's like, I don't think I'm cut out for like the lover lifestyle, the pancakes and your history. And he's like, well, yeah, there's pancakes, but no other ladies, if that's what you're worried about.
Right.
But I'm only seeing you. It's not like a quick bang thing. And he's like, I like you. That's kind of cute. I don't know why. It was nice. Kind of nice. And she's like, well, why me? And he's like, why me? And they kind of tease each other, and she asks about the light, and she goes, so what about this? And he goes, it's too soon to tell. Do you get it? Chris, do you get the theme again?
Oh, yeah. I think he was talking about, it was like a metaphor for the relationship.
It's not just the art piece.
Yeah, it's the relationship.
It was the relationship too.
Yeah, no, I got it.
The art piece was the relationship. Do you get it? Do you get it?
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah.
Just in case you missed the metaphor.
Yeah. Also, too, he played it out smooth because she was like, "Why me?" He was like, "Why me?" Shut up. Instead of being like, "Oh, because you're so
cute and funny."
Like, she would have been like, "All right, cool. Now you like me? I'm out of here. See you later." She said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." That's what she's like. Yeah, that's what we do.
Anyway. I can't wait till she has to say, there's a very special friend in my life who
has a bad heart.
Who has a bad heart, that though you are physically a lot smaller, I think you could take him in a fight.
I think you could too.
I mean,
I don't think Big is a fighter.
No.
I mean, yeah, him and Nathan had that little
that wasn't
wrestling match. Neither one of them really like throwing any punches. I think if Alexander was like smacked him in the face, he'd just be like, dude, you're smacking people? What's going on here? He'd be one of those kind of guys that's like, it's so confused at the idea of even fighting. Just like,
I'm not gonna say anything, but it is very funny you mentioned slapping. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ooh, let's get it.
All I'm gonna say for a future episode.
Okay.
So that's Carrie.
Yeah.
Let's get into Miranda.
Man.
This has got to be one of the most like I know they were definitely trying to be funny at a certain point, but it was insane.
It was awkward. It was super awkward. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is a classic case of don't shit where you eat.
Yeah.
Don't date somebody that lives in the same complex as you, because if it ends, it's gonna end bad. Most times it does end bad, and then now you got to see this person possibly every day.
Yeah, depending on your schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Miranda's at her apartment, and she's in the elevator with Steve, and they're all like happy, and they're like, how lucky are we? And then Blair Underwood, Robert, gets on the elevator, and he's like, well, if it isn't the happy couple. I love how like just ridiculous he is to the he's so petty. It's so funny.
And I love it. Super petty.
And they like try to make small talk, but he's like ice cold. And I'm like, I wrote down, I don't blame him.
Nah,
like, sorry, like for a lot of things. And then I also wrote, sorry, Steve, but what a downgrade. Like, I'm sorry, if you're him, you're like, I am a doctor with the Knicks who owns my own place, and I like, not to stoke my own ego, but I'm like a handsome dude, and she dumps me for this fucking guy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, and like, that's the thing too. Like, yeah, he's kind of coming to his own, but a lot of it was luck. He just so happened to have dated Miranda, who was also friends with Carrie, who dated Aiden, and then they became friends through like mutual heartbreak from the two women that happened to be in that group.
Yeah,
he got lucky, because if it wasn't for that, like if he never dated Miranda, ain't no way he was about to be part owner of a bar.
Yeah, like it. Yeah,
he would have been a bartender his entire life.
Yeah,
there's anything wrong with that. It's a respectable job.
No, but like if you're Robert, money, you're like, I had this like hot lawyer lady who was like single mom in it, and like, but she like handled her own shit, and she fixed like this weird, like, little dorky dude. Like,
but here's the thing, though. Low key, it makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Because Miranda's the kind of person that likes control, and she likes to be the boss. And you think Robert was gonna let her be the boss?
No.
And especially in a relationship, he'd be like, "Shut up and sit down." Like, you know what I mean? Like, because even if you look at their dynamics, right, when they were dating, you know, he brought over the food. He was like, kind of like, "Hey, well, let's go this. We're gonna do it." Like, you know, he was kind of had control of the relationship, and I think that was part of the reason why she never really like gave herself to him, because she likes being in charge, and the person like Steve lets her be in charge.
Gotta find the yin to your yang. So
I don't even know, but that's the thing, dude. Here's the crazy thing about that: it's like, yes,
that might not be
in charge. No, that's the thing. Here's the thing: she likes it, but she doesn't like it. Like, she hates Steve for the fact that she has to be in charge. She wants somebody that can like make moves and make decisions and be, you know, the man in the relationship, but like she rejects it at the same time. It's insane. It's low-key insane. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I know they allude to the fact she's in therapy all the time. She needs to go back.
It ain't working.
It's not working.
It ain't working. It ain't working.
So we get another scene of the apartment, and Miranda's taking the stairs to avoid Robert, but like he had the same idea, and they bump into each other, and he kind of ignores her, and she's like, I deserve that. I never meant to hurt you. We just fell back in love. He's like, cool, so it's just your halftime show?
He's like, well, she's like, we fell back in love, and like that was supposed to make it feel better. He's like, okay.
The course of true love never did run
I'm so
smooth.
Sorry.
You're right.
I'm so sorry. The Shakespeare in me is now okay with the fact that you basically did me like shit. Awesome.
Yeah. And she's like, no, I never thought we were going to get back together. And he's like, well, I hope you don't mind that I send you a bill for my fucking stud fee. And she's like, you weren't like a fast fuck. And he's like, and then he's like imitating her, and he's like, oh, no man has ever been in this deep.
Oh,
it was so savage. It was so funny.
Oh, like I when he was doing that, as much as I was enjoying it, I like you know how you like your body temperature increases when you're embarrassed. I was so embarrassed for Miranda. I was like, oh, he's so mad. Oh no, so mad. Don't do this to her. It was like I had the awkward sweats. I was like, oh, don't do this. Like, luckily it was just him and her. Like, imagine if there was, out there like brunch or something like that. But Jesus, he was going in on her. But deserved.
Yeah.
Deserved.
So Miranda gets back to the apartment. Like, she like left and came right back. She didn't even like go where she was supposed to go. And she's like, I just gave Robert custody of the elevator. And Steve's like, I'm moving in and we have a baby and a stroller. Come on. Like,
yeah.
And she's like, you're lucky that's all I did. I always gave him custody of Brady because that's how upset he is. And she's like, I shouldn't. And she does say, I shouldn't have shit where I eat. like you said.
Yeah.
And Steve is like, it'll blow over. And she's like, no, he's crazy in love with me and acting out.
Really was feeling herself.
She really was feeling herself with this. And then she does bring up the thing he says about no one's been in that deep before. And Steve's like, what?
Yeah. Okay. Another case of disrespect. Why would you say that to Steve? Why did he need to know that information? That could have been left on the fucking stairway where it was supposed to stay. Why would you bring that to him?
I bet Robert knows she would say that, and that's why he's like, I'm just gonna twist this knife in everybody's side.
But it's so disrespectful. Like, why would you say that to your man? Like, imagine your partner describing like the best sex he ever had.
Yeah.
Would you don't want to hear that?
No.
Even if you ask, don't tell me. Just say you're the best and we move on. Like, that's what you do. You don't bring that information to Steve. Like, because Steve already felt intimidated by the dude, and you're gonna talk about like basically you're just saying, hey, this guy has a bigger dick than you. That's the worst thing you can say to a man.
Right?
The worst thing you can say to a man. Come on. Don't tell me somebody's dick is bigger than mine. I want to feel like mine is the perfect size for you. Don't ever tell me.
Of course.
Ever. I don't give a fuck if every dude you've been with dick is bigger than mine. You don't tell me. The fuck is wrong with you, Miranda? Psycho.
She is a lunatic in this episode because we get to moving day. They've got like the last load of stuff, and it includes Steve's TV, and they like come out of the elevator and realize it's like broken, like somebody like somehow it's busted. Yeah. And Miranda jumps to, oh my god, Robert busted it because he's so crazy in love with me. And Steve's like, I think like I just bumped it probably. And she's like, no, he's madly in love with me. And Steve's like, I'm gonna go talk to him about fuck this. I'm gonna go talk to him.
Let me stop you right there because they never really answer it. Do you think he did it? Because I don't think he did.
I don't think he did it at all. I think
Steve just like bumped something and
also, maybe it was a good TV for the time. It doesn't look that impressive though to me. Like Steve's like janky little TV.
Like he's like Robert might be pissed, but I don't think he's gonna result to vandalism.
No,
he ain't. You know what I mean? Like she was like they weren't together that long. It's not like they were together for years. And you know what I mean?
And he's like got too much else going on, which we'll get to in a second.
Also has too much to lose.
And a lot, I was gonna say, and a lot to lose.
Yeah.
This Looney Tune white lady, like, be kind, he's still in love with me. Like, what? I wrote down, you wish, bitch. Like,
feeling herself.
Way too. But I don't condone it. It's stupid and bad on her part. Sure. But I guess if you were her and you had like this super hot dude, like successful hot dude, and your baby daddy, and they both liked you, and you like dumped one for the other, you'd probably be like, I'm so awesome. I got like two of them on the hook.
This is true. You would be feeling
it's not a good way to be.
No, it's not. But I can understand why she. Yeah, because like it'd be different if he just like walked past her in the stairwell and was like, yeah, have a good day, or it's just like was like going about his life, nonchalantly smiling. She probably wouldn't be feeling herself, but the fact that he's like, a little petty about it, like making fun of her and shit like that. She's let's go. Her ego's up. I can see why that comes from.
So Steve goes up to Robert's door, knocks on it, and Robert answers in a robe, and Steve's like, hey, we need to talk about this. And he's like, about what? And then two random hot chicks in lingerie, like, both kind of tiptoe by in the background, and Steve's sort of like, I just wanted to say we're sorry for how things turned out. And Robert's like, cool. And Steve, now this is like one time where like Steve gets to like really be a man and like lie to his crazy ass baby mama, because he gets back down to Miranda, and he's like, he won't be bothering us again. And Miranda's like, was he heartbroken? And he's like, yes. But it is a good moment. I have to say it's a good moment for Steve. You know, Steve gets to like, Steve doesn't often get to like, be the manly
he
man.
He had to do something to make himself feel better. That she basically told him like he was bigger than you. I mean,
bigger, harder, faster, stronger. So it's a nice, and like Steve gets to handle shit for once. Normally Miranda's like doing you know, that kind of thing, but this is like his moment to shine. So I do kind of like this moment, and also Steve being like, maybe I am enmeshed with a crazy person. He's so in love with me, Steve. He's a madman. Yeah. Although that's kind of, I'm gonna say it, feels a little racist.
I mean, but I'm gonna forgive him though. I'm gonna forgive him, okay? Because like, okay, what's the stereotype of black men, right? That's or one of the stereotypes, right? And then he's successful on top of that, and he's good looking, and he was potentially pounding your girl the best way that she's ever
I meant Miranda's. I meant Miranda's. Not Steve. I feel
Steve,
like
I was like, I'll forgive it. It's like
no. Steve's fine. I think Steve Steve knows the reality of everything in this scenario. It's Miranda's like,
he's never had a piece like me before.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure because like she knows too, right? And she should know that because remember, was it like
way back when he moved in?
They first got together. She went to the game and saw the little cheerleaders flirting with him and shit like that. So it's like, okay, you think he ain't had a nice little prime piece before? Yeah, it ain't you, girl.
Do you think those were the cheerleaders in the apartment? I think it was cheerleaders.
I think probably part of the squad, for sure. Yeah. It wasn't like the one that was hitting on him, but definitely
definitely members of the squad.
For sure. Oh, for sure. That or just like some like fallback groupies from trying to get with the players. So either way, he's he living.
But you said you had a question related to this.
That was it. That was the TV thing. I was like, do you? They never really answered if he did it or not. But I was like, no. I don't think he did. Because like, why would he crush her TV and then go upstairs and have sex with two hot models, basically? Yeah,
the timing alone makes no sense.
Yeah,
like he was like putting that robe on when he answered the door.
Yeah, so Steve. Like either things had just like about to get started, or
or just finished,
finished, and it was like round 2 or something.
Yeah, everybody's getting some Gatorade coming back.
Mm-hmm. They did like they had drinks. They were like they get a little refreshment. So
hydrate.
Like some round 2. Yeah, some round 2 action. So ain't no way he went down there, crushed his TV, and went back upstairs. Just like nah. Okay, that was the question. Yeah, that was really it.
I feel like I bet if you saw Steve's TV, he's like, I don't need to smash this TV. It's bad.
This phone. What are you talking about? It was the smallest TV. What was that, like 10-inch TV? Yeah. I'm sure Robert has time to crash that TV. Yeah. Like, and this is like the time of like the big flat screens. Like he ain't got time to be crushing that little 1992 piece of shit 10-inch. He's better
with the giant deep back that like
the big booty back
sticks out from the wall by like a mile.
Nah, he definitely didn't do that for sure.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, he was mad, but he wasn't petty like that. Not to resort to that. She wasn't that good.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry, Miranda.
He's
so in love.
I also think that she's there. So I also think she's kind of like using that to like so she doesn't feel so bad for losing out on that.
Yeah,
because, I mean, that's prime real estate.
Yeah. Like I know she loves Steve and Steve loves her and they got the baby and it's a whole thing, but you gotta wonder if some nights she's like,
100%. Yeah. There's gonna be times that she thinks about like, maybe I should.
We all saw that butt in bed when Steve walked in on them. I'm clearly still thinking about that butt.
There you have it, folks. Elizabeth likes the butt. No, she's definitely No, I don't care how long her and Steve are together. There's definitely going to be always a what if. What if I chose the wrong? You know what I mean?
Staring off into space.
I mean, it's definitely gonna be. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even put it past her thinking about it while her and Steve were getting at it.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, just a little further. I miss it."
Oh no!
Not out loud. Not out loud. I don't think she'd say it.
Oh no! This is she would even think that is like, oh, the disrespect. Oh. Yeah, she would never say it out loud. I don't think she's like that mean, but like, damn, dude. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Damn.
Woo.
Ouchies.
So, that's the episode.
Yeah.
Chris, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on all socials medias at Christopher T. Mack. At Christopher T. Mack on everything.
And you can find me at Elizabeth Movies on everything. And you can find the show at Show Me What Podcast on Instagram. That'll take you to Twitter and Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
And as always, we have the Arlo Australia candle deal. Promo code Show Me Miss for 10% off. Did I say that right?
You already know.
Yep. 10% off for your wonderful candles. Speaking of scents, enjoy some of their nice scents. We were talking about perfumes earlier.
Yeah.
I love the lemon one is my favorite of the bunch.
Lemon eucalyptus is what
yes. Yeah. See, it's the citrus fresh. That's what I like.
Perfect for springtime. So go ahead and grab those.
Because it's February's gonna be over.
I believe the fall scents are still for sale, but they're at a even deeper discount because fall is over. So
start stocking up for next year.
Yeah.
Can also never be.
Like and subscribe.
Yes.
Bronies.
Like and subscribe. Say hi. Tell us how you feel. Give us a like. And drop your favorite perfume or like scent. Like, what do you like in a scent?
Yes. Male and female.
Male, female, whatever.
For both genders.
Yeah. Both genders. All genders.
All genders. Yeah. What do you like?
What do you like to sniff when you smell a person? In a non-creepy serial killer way.
No, in the creepy serial killer. And when you smell somebody's head randomly on the subway, what do you want to smell? That's what I want to hear.
Oh my god! Oh, real fast. Yeah, because I feel like we can't. Somehow Marvel almost always comes up in these things.
Yes.
Okay, so that Werewolf by Night little Halloween thing.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
It was actually kind of fun.
I heard it was.
And one of like, again, the romance novel-y person deep inside me. He's about to turn in.
Pause.
Yeah. I heard it. And I was like, just keep trucking. Maybe no one will notice.
No, I heard it. No. Pause.
But what's his face? Gael Garcia Bernal is about to like turn into the werewolf, and he like starts sniffing the girl, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "It's so I remember to not attack you when I'm a werewolf, because I'll like forget who you are." And I was like, "That's beautiful." Such a dork. Oh well.
All right.
So that's your last tidbit. Well, we've done all the business stuff, and we'll see you next week.